Greetings and welcome to Magic with Tamla Farron. Today we are going to work with a spell that will help with protection and prosperity. And the person that I'm doing this for, I've already done it, but I'm going to redo it to explain how I did it. A lot of candles, especially if you get the candles that are in glass, you can take a permanent marker and you can write on the glass. So you can do anything from a sigil to a dedication, a name, a phrase. You can write on it whatever you want. And then you can add herbs inside. But not everybody can afford a lot of those candles. And unless you get the ones at the dollar store, the ones that you would pick up at an occult shop would be anywhere between $20 and $80. So most people tend to stick to what my meme would have done, and that would be a taper. And it's very simplistic, very easy to work up. You do this while you're at your altar and you've got your protection, you've called the elements and you've called the circle up, and you're doing your ritual at hand, your spell. And one of the things that you would do is use protection oil. This is my own concoction. And you would take a few things into consideration. One would be herbs, one would be the oil, and one would be a needle. Now, the needle, you inscribe on the candle the person that you're doing the spell for, their name. So you inscribe their name, and I use what my meme would have used, and that would be a darning needle. And the reason being, because a lot of people tend to use knives or their athame, and that's great, but a needle is much cleaner, easier to control, and you don't end up cutting your fingers off. Simple as that. So, okay, the name is inscribed. Now you take some of the oil and you start from the top. Now, if it's an oil that I don't mind smelling for the rest of the day, I'll use my hands to put it on the candle. Not a problem. But if it's like this one, and it is so strong, no. So then you take the herbs and you systematically, you could roll it in it, but you just put them on. Just like this. And I've got marigold, bay leaf, five-finger grass, thyme, and lavender. So we have a lot here. And we seem to be getting a lot on here, so that's kind of good too. And like I said, if you find it's not sticking, just start again on that side, put some more up, and keep adding. It does help if you have a lot of patience because a lot of people tend not to, and they get frustrated, and it doesn't help. So now that we've got it covered in herbs, and it's sitting in a jar with lavender to draw in the love and the energy needed there, it is systematically got the protection oil to guard and guide. It now has the herbs to bless and bring forth the essence and add, much like incense would if you blended your own incense. But this is directly connected to the candle now. Directly. It is not, the intent is right here. Your focus point is right here. Everything that you're doing is connected to that candle. So everything that you would do is systematically bound to this candle. The oil, the essence, the herbs, everything is there. Now, one of the things that I've been told to do is with parchment, you read off what you wrote 3 times while lighting the candle, and then you fold the parchment or paper up and you light the paper. Some people put it underneath it, some people burn it. And that's all your choice. Systematically, it's how you feel the intent will get across stronger. The energy will flow faster. That's up to you. Now, I wouldn't be doing this here per se. I would be doing this on my altar. I have a green altar in the kitchen. I have my main altar in the living room. This is my reading table. So I technically would not be doing it here. But the intent would be the same. The herbs can be gathered either in your garden, in the fields. Marigold petals, you can get that out in your garden. Bay leaf, kitchen. Lavender, 5-finger grass. If you're growing a bush in the yard, just go out and take some. Thyme, your garden, or the kitchen. These are all herbs that are, in essence, right around you. So you have no difficulty in putting it together. It shouldn't take that long. The oil is something you can purchase or you can blend your own. It's, for me, my different oils are recipes that my meme used, my mom used, and I use, or I've crafted new ones that I find even more powerful. And I blend, I make my own oils. So this is systematically how you would do it. Whether you burn it or you place it underneath is all up to you. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I'm not going to use the name of the person I was doing this for, just so that we'll say Tom. Protect Tom in all they do. Guide and watch over him. Allow prosperity to enter their situation. May it help with necessities and keep him safe. By the powers of 3 times 3, as I will it, so mote it be. When I say 3 times 3, Maiden, Mother, Crone, that is what I'm going for. I will say this 3 times to amplify that effect. As I will it, so mote it be. I am now stating, as a matter of fact, that the intent I am putting into this spell is complete. And it is now coming from me to the candle and being transferred to the person that I am sending it to. If the candle burns quickly, that is an amazing response. That means yes, it will happen. It will occur. It will work. If it burns extremely slowly, there are other issues that need to be addressed before it will work. If it continues to go out, there is something that you need to know before you try to work this spell. And that may mean there is another issue that is too strong for it to work through. And that issue has to be dealt with before this is attempted again. Now, like I said, writing your own spell is systematically a part of the deal. That's why we have books of shadows and we have grimoires. My meme had grimoires, and that was handed down spells from the family. The Book of Shadows was usually a journal that she kept everywhere in the house, wherever she was. And if something came to her and she liked the sound of it, she wrote it down. And then she would attribute the proper herbs and the proper candle and the proper spell and oil and everything else. And before you knew it, she had created a spell. And that's what I do. It's one of my specialties. But the whole matter of effect comes from your energy and your empowering the tool at hand. These are tools, and it's your energy that extends, and this is an extension of you. So if you put forth the intent to make this work, it goes into the universe. The energy, therefore, goes to the situation or the person that you are doing it for. And it systematically helps them. They have to believe in this. You have to believe in this. This is a way of life for me. This is not something that I do half-cocked and jokingly. This is a way of life for me. So when you put the intent into something, it filters through and it works. the energy that you build, the ability to project the imagery magic that you are doing to help somebody is extremely powerful with belief behind it. Everything adds energy, from the oil to the candle to the herbs. But your focal point, what you do, what you put into it, extends that magic and gives you a very powerful spell. Whatever you put out there does come back to you. So if you're doing something to help somebody, that will bestow upon you down the road. If you're doing something to hurt somebody, that'll kick you in the ass. And it won't just kick you in the ass, it could kick somebody that's around you that you care about. So think twice before you hurt somebody else. But this is to help somebody. It is to protect them and to help them through a very difficult time with just making ends meet. And it is strong enough to put them through the hurdle, over the hurdle, so that they're back on track. We're not asking for millions. We're not asking for an extreme amount. We are simply asking for necessity. And that's another thing where people tend to forget. Magic isn't about greed. Magic is about helping. So when you do a spell for prosperity, it has to be from the heart. It has to be for a reason that is legitimately of need. Needs for bills, or needs for food, or necessity as in clothing, or help with getting transportation so they can get to work. Necessity. Once they get over the hurdle and they're back on track, they can make it on their own. But every once in a while, people need an extra push, an extra step up to help. And this is what will happen. This is what this will do. That doesn't mean that they stop trying to get a job. That doesn't mean they stop trying to help themselves. This sends positive reinforcement of that for them. This adds to what they're already doing. It assists them. It's a natural force of nature. It's not outlandish. It's not greed. So when you put forth something into motion, you want it to be able to work with what you're doing. And assist who you are helping. When you put forth something with the most positive outcome, it may not be what they're expecting, but it will be the most positive outcome for that situation. If you are putting out protection for that person, they may expect a totally different outcome. And the universe comes through with a totally different view. And they sit there and they go, why would this happen? A month down the road, they see how they were protected. They see how the positive outcome was the way it was supposed to work. They see that it helped in the best way there. And for the prosperity, as long as you are asking for necessity and you put the proper intent, it will come along. The universe does provide. It will come along. It will help you. It may be a roundabout way of doing it or a totally different, out of left field motion, but it will help you and it will come about. And that is why we do spells of this nature. If you want to do this, you are more than welcome to. Like I said, you can write your own, or you can get it out of a book. But in any transference of energy, it's all about the intent and what you put into it. You can do one out of a book. Simple as that, but you've got to make sure that the person that wrote the book is wording it with the proper intent. Because not everybody does everything with the proper intent. So you have to judge and see what feels right for you. But remember, whatever you're putting out there is coming back. And helping others is great as long as you don't go over for personal gain for anyone, including yourself. If you're doing a ritual like this for yourself, personal gain, you're asking for help, that's one thing. Asking for millions, it ain't happening. You got to be realistic. And you got to be honest. I wish you the very best of luck. And like I said, this is a protection and prosperity spell. I used marigold, bay leaf, five-finger grass, thyme, and lavender. Protection oil. I'm not going to say what I put in my protection oil, but you can buy protection oils, like different herbal oils that you can blend for a protection oil of your very own. And I do have another protection oil that I will show you how to make in about 4 or 5 videos down the road. But this one, I will not. This is my own personal one. But again, have some fun with it because it's a part of you. It's got to be your magic, right? So you have to feel right with it. You take care and believe in yourself and believe in your magic. Please click like and subscribe, as I will it, so mote it be. Take care. Blessed be.